Chris and I were married 11 months, and he was hit by a car, and that's how he lost his leg. In fact, I was rolling him from room to room at U of M to counsel other accident victims.
While he was healing from his accident.
Yes.
Welcome to the Build Podcast, the show where we talk to the people building Detroit from the ground up. From startups and small businesses to community movements and big ideas, Detroit has always been a city that runs on the strength of its people. I'm your host, Aisha Qureshi, a fellow builder. Let's get into it.
So let's talk about Anew Life Prosthetics.
Okay.
This is Kim and Chris Casteel. So let's jump into it.
So we're a boutique orthotic and prosthetic manufacturer that specializes, literally in orthotics and prosthetics. We're labeled a medical appliance manufacturer, but we try to treat everyone the same. We do things a lot differently, often at our expense, to make people's devices and lives better.
Yeah.
So we try to be very involved in the decision-making process, managing expectations, trying to help people navigate their insurance, and then keep them living or returning to the life that they're looking for.
Yeah, we say we like to empower and just give someone their life back.
Yeah.
Because I know the amputees feel like, I know with Chris, he felt his life was almost over. So he had to rejuvenate that and got to get a kickstart again. I like using that as for the amputee. But I think that just helps, motivate somebody. Life is not stopping now.
Right.
And if you danced before, great, we can try to get you dancing again. But if you never danced, we're not going to make you like a ballroom dancer.
Yeah.
But we empower and educate our patients.
Yeah.
And we really want them to understand what we're doing.
Yeah.
And then give them that extra, confidence that they can go out and live. So to give a little backstory too, Chris and I were married 11 months, and he was hit by a car, and that's how he lost his leg.
Wow.
So we had our 1-year anniversary in the ICU at U of M, and there was a lot of issues, for a 21 and 24-year-old, but Chris always had a passion for helping people.
We're kind of a really Detroit story when it comes right down to it. So I got laid off, had to reinvent myself, went back to school. We decided as a couple that my manufacturing job wasn't good for me physically and for us as a group. Went back to college, got a master's degree. While I was working at U of M, I volunteered there as a technician to learn about how to make prosthetic legs, but I was in manufacturing long before that. Then in residency, we were going to buy a practice and it didn't work out. And so we naively just did it. So we started this business basically out of a trunk of a car and a garage. And then the person that made my first leg for me took me under his wing. We rented space from him and he helped us get up and going. A year or so later, we were able to buy this beautiful Albert Kahn building. A few months after that, we were able to get it certified by Medicare so we could see patients here. And then a number of things happened with insurance, but in a nutshell, we found, or even in my residency, I found that Detroit was an underserved market. A lot of people take advantage, or they think that Detroiters maybe will accept a little bit less. And so we decided that we were going to have a practice that treated everyone equally, depending on their insurance, their situation. So if you're a CEO of a company, expect to be treated the same way as if we have a homeless person brought to us, taken care of. So we're going to take everybody to the same way.
He's just a very caring and empathetic person, and you could see that. And he's a counselor, and so he counsels amputees. And in fact, I was rolling him from room to room at U of M to counsel other accident victims.
While he was healing from his accident.
Yes,
Wow.
with glass still embedded in his face. It took a long time to come out. So we did a lot of that, and we just knew it was going to be a good fit. He wanted to help people, and it was a very niche market, and we saw the proximity for Detroit and the hospitals here and being underserved. So that's it's just such a great community. We've been coming here for 30 years or so.
Yeah, at least. Yeah.
You mentioned him loving to help people. You also love to help people. You guys are like a power couple, basically.
Yeah, I didn't even get the chance. So she helps people in her own way, with it from a legal standpoint, from just helping people in need.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like connecting people and collaborating, and we volunteer with a lot of organizations here in Detroit, and we connect people to those organizations. We give as much as we can, both financially, physically, mentally,
Yeah.
because we feel that it's such a great community here. If you do ask for help here, you get help.
Yeah.
And I think if you give, you get what you get out of your community. So if you give
For sure.
in your community, you will also receive. And so we love the community here. We've never had someone turn us down if we ask for help.
I think what I love about you too is you guys really love to help people. So I want to hear a great story. Like,
So I literally just had one 2 days ago. A lady came in without giving too much information away. She lost part of her hand. We were able to create a silicone finger for her, a custom finger. We've been working on this for probably 2 years, trying to navigate insurance and
for this woman.
For this
Wow.
woman. And she was very self-conscious, very, you could tell it was weighing on her a great deal. And so we were able to get a prosthetic finger for her. The color wasn't quite matched right. It's very close. It's the first time I heard her laugh when we put that on her.
In 2 years.
In 2 years.
Wow.
It's the first time I heard her laugh. To me, it was very empowering.
Yeah.
You could tell that it changed her life.
Yeah.
We'll have to do some tweaking and get that squared away for the color and all that. But that's, to me, is what we do.
Wow. That's incredible.
Yeah, and I don't get to see that all the time. So I get to hear it and live vicariously through you.
Yeah.
Right. You just see the bills.
I love that you guys are in the old Detroit Savings Bank. I want to hear the story of like how you decided here, how you acquired it, how we're sitting in an old bank vault right now. Like, I think that's so cool.
Looking at all the feet
With, like,
and
with
legs
feet-
and body parts.
Exactly, yeah. And like, it used to have like jewels in here, and now it's got
Feet.
prosthetic noses and feet. I think it's so cool though.
I think it was, again, it's one of those Detroit community things. So when early on, we would do home visits everywhere, home and clinics, and we're driving around. We literally looked at a place across the street. It didn't fit what our needs were, and then I don't know. Literally a couple weeks later, I'm driving by and I see a for sale or lease sign on this building, and so called the number, and literally I think it was like 3 weeks later, the neighbors, Roby Shoes, I'm gonna cry. It was so cool. They offered us the building on a late contract because we started the business on credit cards and a dream.
And they had certain stipulations, and we told them it would be a medical facility, and they said, "Oh, that's perfect." They just didn't want something nightclub or something else coming in.
Yeah.
And we told them what we're going to do, and they were happy with it, and they've been wonderful neighbors. And there wasn't much here besides the Robies and a couple other stores when we first came here. There was the bankruptcy in Detroit. There was no Q line. The ACA wasn't into effect yet, so there was.
Do you remember exactly what year it was?
2012.
Oh, 2012. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So it was like.
We took possession literally January 1st, 2012.
Okay.
They let us in here a couple weeks earlier to kind of start working on things, but 2011 in Detroit was a much different
So
time than it is
different.
right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we basically got the building certified, and Detroit declared bankruptcy. The ACA was going into effect, and the Q line was coming in, so we couldn't put a ramp in the front. We had to go to Lansing, get variances, and put a $30,000 ramp on the side of the building.
Wow.
So modified the
So-
sidewalk, and it, a number of these things have always been obstacles, but every time we've been able to find a way to overcome these obstacles to help people.
And the city of Detroit, too, I have to say, has been extremely helpful. Mark Denson, who had passed away, helped us look for buildings. I mean, Alexis
Navigate the
Wiley. There's been so many people in the city that have been wonderful to work with.
Yeah.
And it just helped us navigate, and because we were a niche and they weren't familiar with us.
Yeah.
But they knew we wanted to help people.
Yeah.
And I think they saw that. So
They didn't know how to classify us. Were we medical? Were we retail? Were we manufacturing?
That's a good point.
And so there was kind of some confusion there. Luckily, the building was zoned B4, which allows us to do all of those things.
Okay.
And so that way we can do our manufacturing in the basement, like where we are right now. We're assembly here, and then vacuum forming and all that in the other room. Upstairs we see patients, and then that gives us the opportunity to do other things here if we wanted to.
And
Actually,
we still do home visits too. Chris
Right.
does that because of the lack of transportation here. That's
Yes.
a big issue here in Detroit. There are some insurances which do pay, but it's limited.
Mhm.
And of course, all of our patients don't have certain insurances.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
so we just still make house calls, and we provide as much as we can.
Yeah. As somebody, I went to Wayne State for college. I fell in love with the city when I was 11 years old. That's when my family moved here. As somebody who, like, I can proudly say, like, I love this city when it was, like, ugly and, you know, when it didn't have so much to do.
It's very pretty.
But I think that's, like, that, you know, you said it. There were a lot of obstacles to overcome, but that wasn't something that stopped you. And that's such a, like, Detroit way of thinking. Like, I'm not going to let either government red tape or, you know, like, those mental barriers we can put up for ourselves as business owners and say, like, it's just not going to happen. Like,
Right.
pushing through that is a very Detroit thing.
And I think Chris and I, we're not afraid to ask questions or ask for help.
Yeah.
Initially, we were, you know, kind of ambivalent because this was all new.
Yeah.
Neither of us had a, you know, ran a big business like this. We had a small sporting goods kind of thing going on for a while, but nothing to this extreme. And the regulations with healthcare and the legalities of everything, it was
Yeah.
a lot to bite off. And
it was a very naive move.
yes, yes.
Very
So
naive.
luckily I have a legal background, so that was very helpful, and my firm was very helpful. Jaffe Law Firm. So without them, I don't think we would doing as well as we are.
Ira Jaffe has been an amazing person to help
Mentor
us,
and
mentor
yes.
for sure.
How
Yes.
Yeah.
So we have had so many. We could go through the list of all the people that have
Yeah.
helped us, but it's just it would be here. We'd be here all day.
Well, there are a couple I would definitely want to plug,
Okay.
especially if this is for entrepreneurs.
For sure.
Small Business Administration or Association of Michigan, SBAM. They have been one of the great networking. In fact, that's where we met.
That's how we
Yes.
met. Yeah, exactly.
And the other one is SCORE.
Okay.
So SCORE has David Broner has been a mentor for me for probably about 8 years now. David had a company that he was like second generation, I believe in Detroit. I'm not sure where his business is right off the bat. His son has taken it over now, but he's been able to help me navigate a lot of these things. And what he couldn't help me with, he helped find somebody that could help me with. And that's really been
Yeah.
huge.
Detroiters are connectors.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I don't know that, but I probably know somebody who does, or know somebody who knows somebody, and so I do. That's really cool. Those different connections that come through. What kind of advice would you give to somebody who either is looking to start a business in Detroit, or, you know, is just kind of kicking tires and trying to figure things out?
Well, connect with there's so many organizations here, depending on what area of the city you're in. Like Midtown is great,
Mm-hmm.
Techtown is great,
I would definitely Tech Talent for
Techtown is wonderful, DGC, gosh, I have to go through the District 5 liaisons,
Yeah, all the liaisons.
all the liaisons here in the city. Gosh, I have a whole list upstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there is, just tap into your area, and once you start reaching out, like Vanguard, there's just so many just in the
Yeah.
North End.
Yep.
But just tap into your area and the city
Yeah.
itself. They're always willing to help.
Yeah.
Someone there is a connector, like you said.
Right.
So
And I think the other thing is don't give up. So you might not get the answer you need
Yeah.
right then, or it's the wrong answer. Keep going until you find the right answer.
That's in anything, right? Like,
exactly.
tomorrow's not promised. We don't know, but
Right.
we can figure it out.
Exactly.
What would you say is the role that Detroit has played in, I guess, forming you as a business owner? Because you guys live in the city,
Yes.
and you live, you play, you work here in Detroit. Like,
Yeah,
you're
we
all
don't-
Detroit.
We don't leave very often. We tease everyone. We only go out to weddings and funerals, and there's just too much to do here.
Yeah.
And we just love it here.
So for me, it's like there's a joke about not going over 8 Mile. We definitely try not to go over 8 Mile. we keep south of 8 Mile. I think for me was, my dad was in the military. I travel a lot. I grew up on military bases. Went to school in very diverse populations. When I got to Michigan, I realized that the diversity isn't as strong in a lot of areas. For me, it was really an awakening for white privilege
Yeah.
and learning how someone of white privilege can help others to level the playing field, and that is something we've really tried to do.
Yeah, I agree.
I love that.
We been business partners and life partners for 41 years, business partners for almost 13. So we know that there is some inequalities
Yep.
just in our country in general. But if we work together, I think, and stand up for people who do not have the voices and
Yeah.
the means, it benefits everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a benefit for everybody.
Indeed, you vote with your dollars,
Yep.
and so when you think about going and getting something to eat, and instead of going to a chain, go to a local place.
Yes.
There's some things you have to buy in bulk. It's like there's not a paper product supplier. You can't buy roll of toilet paper from a local business.
Right.
There's some things that have to be done elsewhere, but choosing to support the community and having the community support you is how we thrive.
Yeah, for sure. What's a Detroit brand that you love?
Oh gosh.
I know there's so many good ones. There's so many good ones.
Into what?
Well, we'll start up. I love Young Village right next door.
Okay.
So their jerk chicken and jollof rice, it's like I've got the regular I get every time. So from a food standpoint, there's so many places to eat.
Oh yeah.
I love Peacock Room, and my friend Rachel loves,
Oh, absolutely.
because I love shopping there.
Yeah.
In Yama.
Occasionally there'll be things that come from other countries or states. Kind of franchise. What was it? The Illusion Museum.
Oh yeah, the Museum of Illusions. I haven't been there yet. Is it
Yeah,
good?
we just went.
Okay.
It's a
Just
lot of
went-
fun.
you know,
Yes.
it's definitely interesting. There's a lot of stuff
The
right
kids
there.
would love it.
Okay.
The kids definitely would love it.
Yes.
But there's always something new going on in the city.
Yeah.
I got to really give Dan Gilbert credit for
Yes.
really revitalizing a lot of things, but also creating places for families to come down and enjoy the city
Yeah.
without really breaking the checkbook.
Yeah.
It's not like going to a Tigers game or something like that. It's having to spend a couple $100 if you take a family of 4.
Yeah.
But just having the parks and a lot of the little
The new Riverfront Park.
Oh my
Oh my
God!
God.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
We have
beautiful.
lots of- and I think just the people, Mayor Duggan and everyone else that's worked in the city, they've done a great job
I agree.
in revitalizing it. And I think
Yeah.
just all of us working together, and Mary Sheffield, I'm excited about her coming in.
Same.
Yeah.
So I think we're just going to continue that trajectory
Yeah.
and just make it even a better city than it is.
Yeah.
And it's right now, I think it's just doing really well.
All right. So, tell me. I'm gonna say a sentence.
Okay.
One at a time. I want you to finish the sentence for me. So I'll start with Kim. Detroit is.
Detroit is a diverse city that gives you what you put into it.
I like it. All right. I'm gonna do Chris now. Detroit is.
My favorite playground.
I love that. I love that. Yeah.
That's it for this episode of The Build. If you enjoyed the conversation, follow the show, like, and share it with someone who's building something of their own. And if there's somebody you think we need to talk to, send us a message and we'd love to connect.